In a 10, security room. In the shot of the security room where Gregory stands after all the cameras shut off, we see the screens flickering static as if they were unable to show video. However, a closer look actually reveals that these cameras are showing images in the static. Some contrast and brightness tinkering can reveal a slightly clearer picture, but we can't be exactly sure of what it is. To me, it looks like a really blurry version of the supply closet from FNAF 1, at least one of them does. I have a feeling that the glitches are versions of cameras from previous games, and I wouldn't put it past Scott. There are other images that are really blurry, like really low quality ultrasounds, but if you have any ideas as to what these secret images can be, let me know down below. And at 9, Vanny glitches. During the scenes focusing on the individual animatronics on the elevator, there is text that shows up between each shot. These say when fear takes hold and reality fails, the stage is set and insanity prevails. Each line of text glitches onto the screen, but within those glitches are hidden images of the antagonist of this game, none other than Vanny, the reluctant follower of William Afton. There are 2 images that are shown, one of her looking to the left and the other of her looking towards the center. The eyes that linger over these glitches also always appear above her head. Having these images be glitches on the screen obviously is a reference to Glitch Trap, and having eyes above her head is symbolic of being watched. So could Glitch Trap be watching her through these animatronics, making sure she's doing her job? They all have red eyes after all. Only time will tell. And at 8, Shadow Bonnie. During the scene where we see the first alcove containing the animatronics, we see Chica rocking on her guitar. Firstly, this appears to be the home of the animatronics while they're not working or during the night. But no matter how dumb that is from an AI perspective, there is another thing that is slightly odd about this little room. There seems to be some form of microphone or perhaps some other electronic attached to her desk that, while having a light directly on it, is still pitch black. It is also in the rough shape of Shadow Bonnie as they appeared in FNAF 2. It's not perfect, but it's still noticeable if you're looking for it. This could be a coincidence or a nice nod to a character that will be appearing in this game, like how Scott made Chica's party world for Sister Location. And it's 7, Cupcake. Also in front of that same alcove, we can see a few frames of Chica's famous cupcake in a display case, almost like it's a museum, or perhaps a memoriam to the old design of Chica that they had to abandon for this establishment, or because the fans love the cupcake and would be furious if it wasn't here in some capacity. There looks to be a plaque on the front of the display as well, indicating that maybe it's a bit of a showcase for the cupcakes and perhaps its history with the character of Chica. Maybe the Fazbear Entertainment Company is trying to push sugary foods less, or maybe they just want to get rid of the cupcakes since it was involved with a version of Chica that was possessed by the soul of a child after Afton offered them more pizza. Maybe this whole area is dedicated to ensuring the reign of Afton never comes back. Good luck with that. Someone didn't listen to him when he says he always comes back, and obviously someone didn't look at the final shot of that trailer. And at 6, the eyes. There is a scene where we are running through maybe what can be thought of as a maintenance tunnel, probably below the Pizzaplex. We don't know if anything is chasing us, but we can guess so since this shows over the line they won't stop hunting you, none of them will stop hunting you, suggesting that we are in fact being chased. Now at the very beginning of the scene to the left of the screen, on the very edge we see some lights. However, as our character runs, the fence or railing beside us cuts that light into 2 separate dots, very reminiscent of the eyes of good old Golden Freddy, the one who will not rest torturing Afton's soul in hell. While this may just be a coincidence, we know Scott doesn't do that sort of thing. There were probably multiple shots of this scene and he would have chosen this one because of that tiny detail. That may have been a mistake, but now I can't unsee it. Halfway through at number 5, design change. This is something I didn't notice until I went into the comments of that trailer. In the summer of 2020, Funko leaked the designs of the action figures for Security Breach, thus leaking the designs of the animatronics. People were pissed about this, obviously, since Scott had specifically told Funko not to release anything. What is it with Funko and leaks? Anyway, the designs of the characters from the gameplay trailer are actually slightly different to those of the action figures that were released. This is most notable on Roxanne's clothes, where Scott moved the black star shapes, and on Monty's guitar, where he removed or made the black stripes smaller, at least from what I can see. Chica's guitar is also a lighter blue and mostly white, as opposed to white and a darker blue from the original action figure. And the animatronics in the trailer are properly proportioned. The action figure heads just weird me out. Like, the pop figures are fine because it's meant to be that way, it makes sense, but the action figures, it's weird. And at 4, Ballora's theme. Over the footage of us being shown the individual animatronics of Chica, Roxanne, and Monty, we hear some music that would potentially be triggering to fans who played Sister Location. Here's the clip. This is very reminiscent of Ballora's theme from Sister Location, not the song she sings, but rather her theme music that has no lyrics. This is more of a remixed version of the song instead of the original, but it could be a hint at something much more. Like Vanny says at the end of the trailer, there is more going on here than you realize. It then cuts to something else, and that makes us think that that's what's going on that's more, but we realize that. So what if this truly means this could be in the introduction of William Afton's wife? Ballora is used as an allegory for his wife, not being possessed. Ballora isn't possessed, but just as a mother figure to the mini-Renas and even kind of Baby if you look at it that way. And if you do, the connection only grows since Baby is possessed by Elizabeth Afton, William's daughter, or was. We don't know what happened to his wife, she has no official name. Some think she died naturally and that drove him to killing, some think William killed her, others think she ran away after learning about what William does. Maybe we will learn more about her in this game. Maybe she is indeed the security guard. Maybe her name is Vanessa. Maybe it's just because that music is creepy. Who knows? Getting close to the end in number 3, staff only. Near the end of the trailer, before the security breach logo, we see Vanny pop out from behind a door labeled staff only, indicating that she is a staff member. But why is staff an acronym? The term staff is used in many different ways, as a plural noun, adjective, and even a verb. But none of those uses use the term like an acronym. In fact, when I searched for the acronym, even with quotation marks, nothing came up. So this is definitely something odd. What could this acronym stand for? And is there actually a meaning behind it, or is Scott just giving us a red herring? Let me know your theories down below. Penultimately, in number 2, purple. The color purple is everywhere in this trailer, no doubt a connection to the purple guy himself, William Afton. The trailer starts off with him speaking, and then he is present throughout the whole trailer. There is purple in nearly every shot, and if there isn't, it's a color that makes purple, blue or red. Plenty of the neon lights are purple. Purple is a common secondary color throughout the Pizzaplex. Even the logo that shines on the wall is purple. Chica's playpen has plenty of purple. The Pizzaplex alcoves have purple. Chica's guitar is purple. Roxanne's leg warmers are either a dark purple or blue, but she's also wearing a red shirt. Monty's gloves and shoes are purple. The only animatronic that doesn't seem to have purple on them is Freddy. Maybe this indicates that he isn't under Afton's control. Everything in this trailer for the most part is related to the color purple. The logo is red and the text is glowing blue. Not to mention the ending with, finally, and at number 1, the arm. The final shot of this trailer is clearly a reference to William Afton. I know you noticed that. But what you might have missed, however, is the reflecting purple light that we can see in the reflection of his arm, throwing any theory that this is the Stitch Wraith out the window. At least, maybe. The arm also appears to have been melted at some point, or has had something melted onto it, like flesh perhaps, or the remains of a suit that caught fire after being lured there by your son and your former business partner. The trailer starts off with a shot of what looks like a behind the scenes of a shopping center, with a giant tank with a logo that looks like Glamrock Freddy, with the words Freddy Fazbear's Plazaplex surrounding it. I'm filling in some of the blanks, but that's really fairly obvious at this point. We then get our first look at Vanny while she says, "Gregory, your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please come out." While she says this, we can see her shadow. That looks very similar to the one from the Vanny poster that was released on Scott's website. We see the shadow pop up on the right side. Coming out of a door that says something along the lines of something bear. It's very blurry text, so I couldn't quite read it. Take note, this is Vanny's voice we hear, since she says "with me" at the same time the shadow is revealed. We then get a shot of the kitchen, potentially the first kitchen we've ever seen in this series, while Vanny says, "Gregory, I know I lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch." Note her voice also glitches on the word glitch. This may be important later. As she says glitch, we also get a shot of some new animatronic at the top left of the screen. The animatronic seems to be a Balloon Boy parody with a moon for a face, kinda like the Man in the Moon type thing. The doors close and then we see what looks like a laser tag maze. We see this over the line, "Why don't you come out and we can play a game together?" This is the most important scene, and you'll see why in a second. While we fly over this maze, we see cardboard cutouts of Montgomery Gamer and Glamrock Freddy, and then it fades to black. And then the final clip we get is what looks like a main mall plaza with a golden statue of Glamrock Freddy, and what looks like those things you can walk through to get on the subway or get into a theme park. On the left hand side on banners we can see Roxanne Wolf and Glamrock Chica, who is looking pretty fly to be honest. And as Vanny says her last words of "it won't happen again, it was just a glitch," her voice glitches on glitch again, and then we see 2 neon signs saying the words Freddy Fazbear's Mega Plazaplex. These are the correct words, because if you go frame by frame, which you know I did at 9 AM, you can see a space between the word Mega and whatever comes next. And then the final scene before the jump scare, we get some form of animatronic, probably a Freddy of some kind, saying, "Gregory, be still. I think she found us." Which I think is a reference to the conversation that Scott put in the source code of his website, but I can't verify that because I literally finish scripting this as I had to film it. And then just after that, we get our first preview of the jump scare that is sure to haunt all of our nightmares and YouTube thumbnails for the next few days. Wow, what a hell of a trailer. But what does this mean for the main game? Well, I told you to make some notes, so hopefully you did. I think we have actually already been introduced to the whole game. We know for a fact that there are no coincidences when it comes to Scott. And what just got released, at least for me, only a day before the trailer for Security Breach drops? Bunny Call. I have it downstairs. Amazon Prime same-day shipping, baby! The book features a story called In the Flesh, a MatPat fanfic about a guy named Matt working on the next FNAF VR game that is all about avoiding Springtrap in a maze called Springtrap's Revenge. While no, there is no Springtrap in this game, we have a substitute, that being Vanny. And considering how one of the main shots of the trailer was a maze-like looking laser tag arena, this can't be a coincidence. Scott is too smart for that. So at the very least, part of the game will involve running around a maze and trying to avoid Vanny, if not the whole game. This also basically confirms the game to be a VR game, since that's what it is in the book, and Scott wouldn't specify that unless he wanted to hint at the next game in the series. Plus, he once again is working with Steelwool Studios, which is the company behind the VR of Help Wanted, considering how the story honestly sounds more like a creepypasta, which is kinda weird. And notice the title, Bunny Call. Yes, it's a story in the book and has significance there, but also, as soon as the book got released, we get a trailer featuring a bunny, almost like we called it out, and she's calling to us. Now, I also said to keep note of the fact that her voice glitches when she says glitch. This is noteworthy because, well, if she was a real person, that wouldn't happen. Real people don't glitch when speaking unless they're me trying to read from a teleprompter. There is something more here. Unless she isn't entirely human, she's probably been possessed by some code-like entity, perhaps from the last VR game in the series. Yes, Vanny is the reluctant follower possessed by Glitch, trapped to a point of her glitching when speaking. We already knew that, but now it's been confirmed. So many reveals in this trailer if you look in the right place, and if you're not convinced on the whole VR thing, look at the jump scare. It's clearly meant to be a VR jump scare, very reminiscent of those from Help Wanted. I'm sure they'll release a flat version as well for more lore hints, just like they did with Help Wanted, but I'm really excited for this game. We're definitely going to be playing it, especially because I was able to predict it. I know some people have put out videos already, they're lucky because of their time zone, but I haven't watched any other videos, okay? These are all my own ideas using my own knowledge. This trailer literally came out at 4:30 p.m. yesterday. I end at 5, okay? Don't blame me for being like 16 hours late. So this release date, strangely enough, didn't come from the Freddy and Friends on Tour videos like we were expecting, but rather a new State of Play trailer at the PlayStation Showcase last night. This was certainly surprising since Freddy and Friends was building itself up to be the release date kind of like reveal, and to this point it has only revealed that it would be coming out this year, and at some point with a month starting with a 1, which was every other month this year. Something that we knew about already. It's also revealed that all the glitches we've been seeing in the Freddy and Friends episodes, with the exception of the purple ones, were actually screenshots from the State of Play trailer. However, it wasn't everything we got, so let's go over some of the new stuff as well. We start with getting a look at some of the story, with us learning that we aren't intentionally inside the Pizzaplex after closing, that it just happened to work out that we got trapped inside. This does help snuff out a few theories about the game and provide some much needed context to keep theorizing. We also see Chica feeding on what seemingly looks like a bucket of chicken, but acting very much like a zombie before turning to us to attack and then getting crushed by a pipe, but then still attacking, because you know, Chica's resilient like that. We hear the Moondrop and Sunrise, or whatever the sun version is called, animatronic, say that he wants us, and then we get our first look at an actual interaction in the game, where we knock over a tower of paint cans and Chica is lured out of the way. I'm guessing this is going to be a mechanic that is used heavily. After this, we get a scene seemingly in the employee locker room where we climb inside of a lifeless Glamrock Freddy animatronic and begin piloting it like a mech, like a lot of people have been guessing. So this will in essence serve as a more advanced form of the Freddy mask from FNAF 2, where we can use this to get around or just get next to animatronics, but probably not for a long time since that would kind of be too easy, and there is actually a battery meter on the bottom of the HUD when you're inside inside Freddy. It's interesting to me that Freddy seems to have no life in him at this point as well, just being a robot that we can control rather than a friendly AI, but either way, we will probably spend most of the night looking for batteries for our flashlight and for Freddy, since the scene directly after this has text that reads "hold square to recharge flashlight." And given the battery level on Freddy, unless he makes his own power and just recharges over time, this will probably be a similar mechanic. We also learn through Glamrock Freddy's voiceover that we just need to survive until 6 AM in classic FNAF fashion, meaning this game's gameplay will likely be a combination of the classic FNAF mixed with a little bit of sister location, where we do have to survive until 6, but there is also a story we have to follow. And from what I could see, there was also at some point a little tab that said missions. So there looks like there's either going to be some form of side quest or it's going to help you figure out what you need to do next. Especially given the cinematic moments that happen, like Chica attacking and Montgomery Gator jumping onto a catwalk later in the trailer. I'm pretty sure that this is going to definitely be more story based, but still have some original FNAF elements. We also know that we'll have a sprint meter and whatever the hell that giant Music Man animatronic is. It's literally like a giant frickin' Music Man spider. Okay? I'm guessing by his feet as well that this is the giant animatronic that was only able to fit one hand onto the screen in the third Freddy and Friends episode. So it's not as tall as I thought it was going to be, but either way, I have to be honest though, that thing is freaking terrifying. Like, why giant spiders in a series about possessed animatronics and killers trying to escape from a video game? Why do we have giant spiders? Or I wanted to leave that for Skyrim. We also learned that we will be able to get a flashing device that could simply just be a camera flash that can temporarily stun at least Roxanne Wolf, but probably other animatronics as well. We can also assume that the animatronics, or at the very least Chica, will be able to be damaged, something seemingly shared with the special delivery animatronics. Since at 1 minute and 26 seconds in the trailer, we see a damaged Chica that's missing her beak, but also the exosuit on her left arm, which is an even more damaged state than we see her in that one teaser image from Dako's stream. You know, the one where she's sitting like outside the Pizzaplex, she's like all like this and she's absolutely destroyed. Yeah, that one. We already knew that Montgomery was going to be strong, but as to why he ends up destroying what looks like a laser is a mystery to me after he's introduced. And probably the most interesting reveal is what we learned from Freddy Fazbear. We see this animatronic glitching out after being introduced, and then we cut to a red screen with text that says alert and detected. However, by pausing it, we can also see that there is a bar called the integrity level, which indicates to me that Freddy will end up betraying us if the integrity bar gets too low. Notice how the integrity level in this scene is going down, and then it says alert and detected with a little 8-bit version of a child, perhaps alerting us to how that child will be in danger if this integrity bar ends up getting too low, or I guess stopping, or getting below zero, getting to 0. Freddy then drops the mic and lays on the ground, and then the scene ends there. The trailer ends revealing to us what we thought was the Stitch Wraith in the first Freddy and Friends video is actually another new animatronic. One that is strikingly similar to a mini Rena, but instead has tear streaks like the puppet has, and has the words "in your dreams" written across the chest. Even though there's multiple of them, they all have "in your dreams." Perhaps maybe this is like a nightmare mini Rena, or it's just a new animatronic in general that's supposed to help out around the Pizzaplex, but we don't know. Like, why do you have "in your dreams" written across your chest? That's so weird. That's such an obscure thing. But we won't have to wait long to find out why, since Security Breach will be releasing on December 16th, 2021. Which is one day from what I had been guessing this whole time, which was December 17th. What the hell, Steel Wool? You couldn't have just made it one day later? You had to make me one day off? Are you serious? Bro, this is my supervillain origin story. This is why I'm dressed as the purple guy. One day off. Are you kidding me? Oh, I needed to do that. I needed to get that out of my system. Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad about that.